Hey,
Whee!
Robbie looks really different tonight. I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, he's looking much better with that.
Was the
He's had a
VHS
shave,
Thrifter?
had a shave, done the hair. Good on you, Robbie. You're looking way better.
You're looking awesome. We'll have to bring this Robbie every Sunday, I think, because you've got a better version. So thanks everyone for coming. Obviously, we've got Cara with us tonight because Robbie's at the footy. He's pulled a sly one and gone to watch the Dockers. So
I thought that's what he would be doing. I was like, he's either drunk too much already or he's gone to watch the footy.
Probably both.
True.
I wouldn't be surprised if he does like a random Rob drop in at some point, although I didn't send him the link, so I'd be surprised if he does get him. But, we never
Send
know.
him the link. Send him the link. I want to see it.
I might have to. I'll try and message him at a low point when I'm not trying to drive the chat. But thanks, Cara, for jumping in and having a chat with us. It's awesome. First female on the worldwide reselling. How do you feel?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Are you nervous? Because we all know what happens on Sundays. Things get a bit rowdy around here. So I think you can keep up with us. I reckon you do all right.
I think I can do it with the best of them, so I should be all right.
So thanks, everyone.
I think she's got our measure, to be honest.
Yeah, probably.
I know you guys too well, so I think I'll be all right.
Some of the group chats, I will say, gets initiated by Cara. So we'll see how we go tonight.
What are you talking about?
Thanks everyone for coming. We will try and pick up some comments throughout the night and have a little bit of a chat about all the normal stuff. Obviously, sales of the week, bit of dog shit. But Robbie put us to task this week. He wanted us to talk about, is reselling worth it? So he threw me the thumbnail and said, good luck. So look, we're gonna talk a little bit about, the ups and downs of reselling. And obviously you guys are full-time. Jazzy's full-time now as well. And it's a grind at times, obviously. But we want to hear from the chat throughout the night what their experiences are and how they think it is. But yeah, I guess before we get into that, how's the week been for you guys? Flip, how things been going?
Yeah, we've had a weird week. We've had sicknesses. We've had all sorts of shit going on here. So it's trying to... Now, this is the beauty of being full-time. I've been able to kind of juggle my hours into all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, it's been kind of weird on the eBay front. From an actual kind of working perspective, it hasn't been as consistent as normal. Honestly, I haven't been listing that much. I've done the old trick of dropping 30 a day and fixing those buddy recommended specifics and bumping them back up, and the sales are still going well. So I've had no issues with sales. This weekend's been booming, and I haven't really been listing that much. Like, I usually list 20 to 30 a day, and I'm down to some days I've been doing between 5 and 10 just because I haven't had the time because of everything that's going on. Plus, I want to be sourcing and all that sort of stuff. So it's been a weird week, but sales are still strong, so I'm not complaining on that front.
That's good. So you're keeping activity by ending and relisting or self-selling.
Yeah,
nice.
And that's just a strategy I've always used. A lot of people use it. I know that. Whether it works or not, it's one of those eBay conspiracies that we all talk about.
I think if you feel like you're actually still doing something, though. Like, if you can't get to something like listing or, those things that we really should be doing, at least you can end and sell similar. And it feels like it does work. So,
yeah. I feel like I'm getting something out of it. So I just feel like if I do 10 or 15 in the morning, then I get a couple of sales followed up by it.
Yeah.
Like, it can't be a coincidence every single time, can it? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just...
I think that's such a good strategy, is the morning end and relist, because usually, like, you don't have 10 listings to go. Well, I don't anyway. And, like, it just, like, creates that activity, I guess, straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just cycling through the chat saying a quick hello to everyone. We don't want to take up time saying, wasting everyone's time. But I do want to point out, Disgruntled Octopus has said, seems like there's an Octoclown in here that's already disliked the vid. So thank you, Disgruntled Octopus. He changed his name back this week. So I appreciate you being here as always. Mum's in the house. So when Mum's in the house, things are going to go well. Obviously, Sandra, we've got heaps of people. Disney Thrifter of Oz. Oz Riley, Neil Steptoe, all the normal crews here. So thanks, everyone. Captain's in the house. Drew and Sarah are here.
Done.
Jazz is looking after us like always. So thank you, Jazz and Adam as well. 40 in. So Cara's brought the crowd tonight, or Robbie 2.0. Thanks, everyone, for joining. We had a
I was thinking of, like, doing, like, a little stubble or something, like doing...
I'm sure the crowd would have appreciated that. But look, I guess they'll deal with what they've got. I deal with that. I guess I'll deal with it. We've got Megan in the house as well. Good to see you, Megan. Thanks for coming along. Always appreciate seeing you here as well. So yeah, we've had a bit of a weird week as well. Like we actually went out thrifting with Kara yesterday, and we hadn't had a sale until like 1 o'clock, which is like
it was weird, wasn't it? And I got in the car and I was like, oh, I've had fucking 5 sales already. And they were like, what?
Yeah, Kara was showing us up, that's for sure. But back to a bit.
It wasn't actually a great weekend anyway. Like it actually slowed down after that. Like it was like 5 sales and then nothing else. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so I guess that's part of this discussion, isn't it? Is eBay's not always consistent. So I think it's always good to have that consistency. And, you know, people say, oh, you don't need to list and you don't need to do that. But if you're doing all those things, then you can only put yourself in the best position to succeed, right? So I want to hear from you guys being full-timers. Is reselling worthwhile? So obviously there's people that will say yes and people say no. Full-time isn't for everybody. Some people do it part-time and make really good money and, you know, add on to their house or pay off bills or extra things like that. But from your guys' perspective, obviously you've both gone full-time. So I presume at this point it's working out quite well for you guys. We'll start with Flipper and then head down to Kara. What are your thoughts? Is reselling worthwhile?
Yeah, it is. And I mean, everyone's sort of situation's different with what they sell. It's a tricky question because everyone's knowledge base is different too. So some of the stuff that I am reselling is stuff that other people wouldn't even touch. And I build my business model not purely on op shops and thrifting, which a lot of people, majority of people probably do. I started from doing other stuff. So in a sense, I do other things to help with that reselling side of things, I guess. And it is all technically still reselling. I'm buying things to resell. But, you know, as I've always said, I've dipped my dick in a lot of different baskets and I've had to do that to make it sort of viable. I think, you know, if I was just solely relying on thrifting, I'd be a bit more anxious about it. That's for sure. Don't get me wrong. That's doing me well. And my mind changed on that this week. So I had not a fun experience through the week. I went thrifting in Melbourne. Now I can see why people don't think, you know, thrifting in the city is a good thing. I was blown away. I filmed it. I was kind of just angry the whole time, so I didn't really I haven't edited it yet. I don't know if I'll put it together, but I hated it. I absolutely hated it because I'd done the outer suburbs of Melbourne, and the closer I moved to Melbourne, it got more expensive. Now they can price it whatever they want. It's their shop. They can do whatever the hell they want. But some of these prices were crazy, man, and I know everyone's aware of this stuff. Like I'm talking, you can't feed the needy, the ones that need it, and you can't feed the resellers that want to resell it because they can't make money out of it. So you have, say, an R.M. Williams jeans sitting there for $30, $40, size 32. It might sit there for 6 months waiting for the right buyer while they're throwing everything else out in the landfill because they only have a small store. Like I don't understand that. So anyway, I'm going off topic there. It's people that live in the city. I think if you live in the city, it's very tricky because I experienced it for the first time. So I popped my Savers cherry. First time I've ever been to Savers. And I fucking hate the joint. I hate the joint. I'm never going back. I hated it.
Chris is just saying he went full-time, so congratulations, Chris. That's awesome to hear.
Congrats.
But I think you're right, Flipper. Like, we've all talked about pricing going up, and the closer you get to the city, it goes higher and higher and all that sort of stuff. And I think you hit the nail on the head there because the whole, like, you're a bad person for being a reseller argument is that you're taking away clothing from the poor, which if you actually look at op shop models, that's not true at all because essentially what they're selling, the money is going towards helping homeless people or people in need and stuff like that. So that's kind of off the charts there. But if lower socioeconomic, you know, people go in there and they can't afford it, then that's wipe that buyer off the list. And then if it's too high for people to resell, you've knocked 2 people off the list. So what's left? That person that's buying for themselves at a high price, those people probably don't shop at op shops. They shop at the boutique stores and stuff like that, where you know they're happy to pay up. So I think that's a good point there you made in terms of like, they're killing both their markets, and we obviously know that overheads are high and stuff like that. But there's
like a whole different section to this question where it's like, is thrifting and reselling sustainable together? Like, will we be able to continue doing that? I think reselling in any form is still going to be like, people are going to do it, but is it going to be sustainable for, like, say, myself to go and buy clothes at an op shop and then sell them and like continuously keep doing that, which is kind of what I'm doing now. And it's funny because the last couple of weeks have really, I don't know why, it feels like everything is more expensive in the last couple of weeks, but it just seems like it has been. I don't know if there's like not more of like an abundance in inventory, but yeah, it's just seemed a lot more expensive. So
yeah,
I think that reselling is worth it, but it really depends on your circumstance. I think, like, sort of Jada touched on that a little bit. Like, it depends on your circumstances, really. And I think that reselling is a fantastic side hustle and all that sort of stuff. But also you can do it for a living, but you just have to be super dedicated. You have to be able to get that inventory. Yes, mostly I'm doing op shop stuff, but I sort of know like how much money that I need to live. Yeah. Whereas like someone might need more money and the money that I get is not the same that they need to live. So you really need to think about, like, full-time is not for everyone. So, but then also it is something that you can do. You just have to be really dedicated to it. And like, it's not like we suddenly were able to resell. We had to take a long time, like after work, doing 20 listings a day. We were literally talking about this the other day, Brad, saying like we went from like a full-time job and then went and did our other full-time job and we're listing 20 items after we got home and like that sort of thing. So there's a lot put into it beforehand before you can go like full-time. But I think it's worth it. I mean, I can do whatever I want throughout the day. Like, I can obviously need to do my reselling stuff, but then I can, Jada was just saying he looked after his family this week because he's a reseller and he wouldn't be able to do that properly if he was working at a full-time gig.
Yeah, 100%. I think there's that big part of it. Like, not too many resellers live like crazy luxurious lives, right? Like, we all sort of cut down on our spending, but the gains that you get out of that is you get to, if you need to take a day off, you can take a day off and you don't need to ask anybody. You can sort of plan things ahead of time. If you do know that you are going to be sort of, away for a period of time, you can kind of adjust things to work for your business. And I don't think anybody suggests that reselling is an easy job. Like, I don't think the people that do it on the regular, we know that you're going to be putting in more hours than you probably are at 9 to 5. But you also get great benefits with that, in that you can just pop down to the shops whenever you need to. You can, look after your family when they're sick and spend time with your kids, which is, what Brad's main push to go full time was. So I think I would never discourage anybody for going full time. I think you just need to know that there's going to be work involved, and we can all support each other to be better at being full time and pivot to different areas of being full time. Like Brad said, maybe it's not op shopping all the time. Maybe it's, doing some auctions or niching down to something that you know really well and selling on Facebook. So, I think there's numerous ways to go. Be interesting to see what everyone else has to say in the chat. I will pick this one up here. Tilly and Bo are asking Brad if he's got an OnlyFans with his Steve Irwin doll. A little bit of hot raunchy action going on in that last video.
Yeah,
yeah, Steve. He needs a good. He's still up there actually. He needs a good clean off. He's a bit sticky at the minute, and that's not from me. That's not from me.
With him, you're gonna.
Yeah, I'll play with these buttons. So, yeah. No, I don't know. It won't be cheap though. Bit of OnlyFans action. Well, I'm a full timer, so I need to bring in money as much wherever I can. So.
Cara, Jazz has dropped your channel. Are we going to get a full video from the weekend thrift at all?
Well, I didn't film anything. I just did Instagram stories. You're the one who filmed. I just
cool stuff to make a YouTube video out of it.
I probably should do like little shorts or something from my Instagram stories. I don't know. It's just
do it.
I've been tossing up with YouTube. Like, if I should, I'll keep obviously my channel open and stuff. It's just not something that I'm thinking about right now. But I still find it fun, and I like to be a part of like the YouTube community. So
definitely. I did mention in the video I was editing it up today. we did mention that we had to film you because you don't film your own videos. So we have to like give the community more of Cara because hasn't been putting her up on her own channel. But YouTube's a big it's a struggle, right? Like you have to sort of plan ahead what you're going to film and try and you never know what you're going to find. So you could go out and film something and get absolutely nothing. And who wants to watch that? Not people want to see you.
John is so good at it. Like I always find that I struggle to keep filming. That's why I find Instagram easier because I can go, oh, there's something, I filmed it. And then I'd like get my camera out for YouTube and be like, trying to capture that moment, which you seem to do, but also find good stuff still. And I think I guess Robbie sort of started shying away from doing thrifting videos because he wanted to find the stuff, and it was very difficult to keep filming and making those videos. So I'm a reseller full time. So when I'm going in, I'm laser focused on what I'm going to find. So sometimes, I don't even think about filming it or.
Yeah. Filming always comes secondary for me. And that's where some of our videos don't have the middle content because I'm in there looking for the items, and unless I'm thinking at time, I should get some film of this, it doesn't always come up. When we went yesterday, I think we hit about 14 op shops, and I think I only filmed
crazy
12 because the other two I was just we have to get in, get out because we're on a tight schedule. We had 28 on the list to get to. We didn't get to them all. So,
Brad thought that we were going to get to 28 op shops.
I was optimistic about
it was a good list though. It was a great list of op shops.
We gave it a good shot. The Gons is saying going into any op shop and 80% of the people are resellers. As you can tell as a reseller, you definitely can. They're doing exactly the same as you. Expensive stuff stays on the rack and you get it when it goes 50%. Sometimes even 50% isn't enough though. Sometimes you wait for that 50%.
Some stuff.
That's still too expensive.
But the boutique stuff in Salvos, I don't think even goes on.
No, it doesn't. No.
On special at all because it's a white tag usually, the boutique stuff. So it's not a color that will go from 50% then to the $2 rack. It's this is $40 forever.
I will say apologies as well. I've got you guys on the screen, so when I'm looking away, I'm actually looking at you rather than the camera.
That's all right.
I'm not trying to ignore you guys. I'm just trying to keep an eye.
You're just
yeah, I was
I know what I'm doing here, but
I want to ask you guys a bit of a question from Wayne. I think this is a good question because I mess around with Promoted a lot, and I sort of stuck with the same sort of formula for about 6-7 months, and that was working quite well. But the last 2 weeks I've been playing around with it again because I'm eBay changes stuff all the time. So I just want to test if it's still the same or if it's changing. So Wayne's asking, is it worth promoting items for eBay at 2 to 5%? So I don't know what you guys do percentage wise, but I guess do you promote and how regularly, and what sort of percentages do you guys sit at?
Yeah, I promote everything. Percentage wise, I'm going a bit higher these days on your flooded markets like clothing and stuff, and I sell a lot of clothing. That's kind of the majority of stuff that I sell. Your basic $20 to $30, $40 jeans and stuff, I'm sitting up around the 5% now, and I'm finding that's working well for me. Basically, it puts you at the top, doesn't it? So it's a completely flooded market. I remember when I started this crazy gig of reselling, eBay had recommended to promote it around, what was it, 5% back then? Now they're recommending about 8 or 9. So whether that means shit or not, I got no idea. But I'm sitting up around that 5%, and the clothing just keeps ticking along well for me. My more niche items where I sell the sporting memorabilia and a bit of vintage stuff, I don't promote as heavy. I keep that pretty low. I still promote because, if I'm selling one footy jumper and I have none of my other footy jumpers promoted, they're probably going to show down the bottom someone else's footy jumpers, not mine. So I think it is important to, in my personal experience, I think it's important to promote, even if it's 1%. It's going to get you on there. So those kind of niche markets, or the really expensive items, because, if you're promoting 2, 3, 4% on something that's very expensive, $1,000 item or something, you're going to get stung with a fair old fee at the end of it, aren't you? So, I keep it all kind of bit all over the joint, but those flooded markets, video games, clothing and that, I do a lot higher than others. And then what I do is a strategy that I learned from the great man beside me here, and that is I just end every Friday I do my bookwork. So I get up, do the mail run, come home, sit in front of the big stupid idiot box and start punching numbers in what I've done for the week. And it's my least favourite couple of hours of the week. I absolutely hate the books. But anyway, the first thing I do is get on there and I close any cases, unpaid item cases and shit. And then I go straight over to promoted listings. I end all of them. And then I find those different categories. So all the clothing, I'll re-promote it at a different percentage. Then, the sporting memorabilia will be at a different percentage. So I do that every single Friday, and I think it just gives me that extra boost every Friday, and it just seems to kick off the weekend sales. I stopped doing that a while ago, and, on average, my sales dropped off. So I think that has had a huge impact on my weekend sales. I do really well over a weekend, and I'm just ending and re-promoting every Friday morning.
Yeah.
And I learned that from Brad. He taught me that one.
Well, it was working for us, and like I was doing every 3 days. So, 3 and 4. I was doing start them on a Monday, end them on a Wednesday, and then, end them on a Friday, and then restart them again on a Friday through to Monday again. So, yeah, it was working for us. But like I said, we've been trying some different stuff lately, and yeah, it's all different. What about you, Cara? What's your sort of?
So, as an example, I just quickly searched. So I'm predominantly selling women's clothes, but I'll sell anything if I can make a buck from it. Not anything, but most normal things. So if I typed witchery blouse into eBay, nearly 4,000 listings have come up.
Wow.
So if I know that people will probably search by size, but just as an example, that's a lot of things. So I definitely need to promote, and to be honest, sometimes I'm promoting at trending because I need to, because I'm not going to get seen, unfortunately. I know that people don't promote at trending, but I think it works for me, and I don't do it for everything. And I don't suggest that you do it. That just works for me. But because I am in that women's category, I think that it does get my items seen a little bit more. So for something a little bit more expensive, I will just promote it at trending, and if it's $150 item, it might cost me $10 out of promoted listing fees, but at least I've got that listing seen, it's probably sold quicker than other things. So for me, I'm happy with that, and I think that you should just do what's best for your business. But I think overall, what Wayne has said, just having a bit of a play, seeing between 2 and 5%, it's only going to be maybe a couple dollars, maybe not even. It depends obviously on how much the item is and the percentage and things like that. So just have a play with it.
Yeah, and we do the same. We promote at trending, but the way that works out is some categories are high and then some categories are low. So when we look at our fees, it's usually around that 5%. So it kind of works out across the board at about 5. So
so you're not looking at one item at a certain rate. It's okay, this is the whole rates combined, and then even out in the wash, this is how much it's actually costing me. And it's this 5% rate or whatever. And that's a good way to look at it, I think.
Yeah, because I think some categories, if you do a flat 5, some categories you might be overpaying, and some categories you might not even be paying enough to get your items seen. So it's kind of, it's one of those things, and different categories work different ways as well. So I think just trial a few things depending on what sort of categories you work in, and just have a play, because all our stores are a little bit different. Worth having a crack and seeing how it goes.
One thing I'll say too, just be careful when you're promoting. So if you're planning to promote at a high percentage, right? So take in your initial investment, take into account the tax if you've got to pay tax wherever you're at with your business. Take all that into account where you're going to be at after the fees are taken out, right? Yeah. But also, if you're looking at the item and you kind of base it on sold comps, but you're planning to undercut, if you undercut sometimes undercutting as well as promoting can be bad because a lot of people, like myself, if I search for something, will search from the cheapest item. So it's not going to give you the best match. It's not going to show those promoted listings. They're going to show the cheapest item. So if you've undercut and promoted and somehow it's come through that, then, is it worth going a high percentage on that promotion? Maybe not. So if you are an undercutter like our boy Hollywood is, just be careful with those promoted listings. And also people that do browse on the desktop, from what I've heard, promoted listings can be blocked from virus block, like anti-virus blockers.
If you've got an ad blocker, they can.
So that takes out, another small quantity of people as well.
I think clothing, last I heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they updated it. So 7 of the top 20 will now show as promoted listings. So if you do a search for any item, 7 of those top 20 in clothing, not all items, will be promoted listings. So there's also stats out there that people don't scroll past, X amount of pages and all those sorts of things.
Yeah.
So,
you can tell when something's promoted. Like if you're searching on eBay and you're like, you're searching and searching, and then you've seen that item and the next 20 items, it's there again. That's promoted. So that happens a lot on my phone, and I don't really search probably a lot on my desktop. I list on my desktop, but I definitely notice promoted listings on my phone. So
yeah, I just want to catch up with the chat a little bit. 14 was a good effort in day. 28 in one was way too much. But we've planned maybe a second trip to do an overnighter, so that would be hectic. Depends. This is going back to the YouTube stuff. Depending on which side of YouTube you sit, whether you're a reseller first or a YouTuber first. But like we've all said, we're all YouTubers second. I don't think YouTube's paying any of our bills.
No. And if you're lucky to live in America and do well on YouTube, it seems like a pretty good income if you're getting all the views and things like that. It seems like a good side hustle in America if you can sort of balance both.
Yeah. I made a point on it a while ago when we spoke about this same topic ages ago, and I said I was sort of getting sucked into it. I put YouTube second, or I put YouTube third kind of thing. Reselling was more important. Family was the most important, reselling then YouTube. But now I've sort of changed my tone on a little bit. No, it doesn't come first, but I have to look at YouTube as a hobby. I don't plan to make it. I make a very minimal amount of money off YouTube now, which is great. But
zero.
It's
minimal.
That's 3/5 of fuck all. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And which is a bonus because basically I've monetized the hobby. I enjoy making the videos. I enjoy going through the editing process. I enjoy, being a goose and people getting some value out of it. You get the odd dingleberry here and there that wants to give you shit on there, but, we don't worry about them ones. And I've just got to remind myself it's a hobby. Some people, I don't play fucking footy anymore. My body's shot. I've just recently retired from basketball as well. So I'm not playing sport anymore. A lot of people do video games, all these sorts of things. I barely even watch movies these days. So to me, the YouTube side of things, if I keep remembering it's just a hobby, I enjoy making doing the edits and going through the motions, then it makes it just a whole lot better in my mind rather than, trying to force it out. That's why I just do a video whenever I can be bothered now, sort of thing. That's just how they come out.
Yeah, I think that's the case for most of us down under, in the reselling space at least. Hello, Meredy and Kursko. Good to see you. A few more dropped in. Neville, good to see you as well, Neville. Thanks for being here. And Ebony. Jazz has dropped the Aussie VHS Thrifter's channel, but he's currently at the footy. So, Dave's saying Robbie's had a shave. He comes up all right after a shave, Robbie. He does all right. Do you think you could earn the same that you do now if you work 2 or 3 days part-time for an employer? I'm presuming he means off of, so the same money that you make on eBay, could you make that if you're working a part-time job 2 to 3 days a week?
Well, it depends on what industry you worked in.
Yeah.
It's a bit open-ended, I guess.
Yeah, definitely, but then that's more back end out. You're technically working more because you're working for the employer as well. And then I've probably got to do kind of similar hours to what I'm already doing, I guess. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's not in
I
my
think
plans.
it depends what you want, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you want the freedom of being a full-time reseller where you don't have to worry about going to a job at all. Like, if you don't have to worry about, I've got to go to bed early because I need to be up tomorrow at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. to go to my job, then
that's right.
What you want to get out of it. Like, you
that's
probably
it.
could make good money working 2 to 3 days a week, but is that what you want to be doing? And I think that's the struggle that a lot of us have is, do we go part-time initially and then work into it, or like how do you balance that? And I think it's quite hard to answer.
So I will answer it in the fact, like, if I had my old job on the same money, on 2 days, like or even 3, I wouldn't be making the same amount that I was on eBay. Like, I make more on eBay.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah. Well, I've said before, like, my situation's really unique to others. I was made redundant. I got a good payout. I got paid out on night shifts, 12-hour shifts. It gave me the ability to do this for 12 months. And if I get to the end of 12 months and I'm not making the money where I can provide for my family long term and continue to make it, a viable income, then I will look at doing a part-time job elsewhere for the extra money, because I know how good it was doing this as a side hustle. I mean, don't get me wrong. It sucks working for the man. It's a grind. I'm a stubborn prick. I hate being told what to do, simple as that. So I've never liked working for people. So this is perfect for me. But at the same time, it was so good having money come in every week and then having a gig on the side. It was fucking amazing. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, that was like the best, was like being able to just be like, look at all this fucking money that I've got that I can do whatever the hell I want with. But now it's like, I've got to pay all my bills with it. So it's a little bit different, and it's not for everyone, because people are doing it because they want that like extra income, and that is absolutely fine. And like, that's where I started. And I mean, we're all kind of blessed with the fact that we have partners that do have, like Brad is the full-time worker, and like I've got my husband and Brad's got Kate. So, there is that, and you do have to think about that as well, because you need that support probably as a reseller, because we know it's inconsistent. So
and
that's probably on what Chris is saying there too. Can you bring up Chris's comment down the bottom there? Just that first part. Nowhere near his previous job, but mental sanity tastes like freedom. So that's the key, isn't it? And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, you hit the nail on the head there. It's that mindset of, you might not be living as luxurious life, but you're living a freer life. So that balance. Opt to Thrift, may I ask what the 3 on screen, and you guys decide if you want to share this or not. Your eBay store is listed, I'm presuming, numbers.
And like how many? I would just do like the 90-day, like how many you've sold in like 90 days. Yeah. So me, I've got 1,011 listings, and I've sold 671.
That's awesome.
In 90 days.
Flip, if you want.
Hang on. Don't know. I got 3 stores.
Do you main store?
I do my main public store, the one that I share all my stuff on. The other ones are private. But I currently have 1708 listed and sold 797.
Beautiful.
But you also you're on Facebook, and then you have those other stores as well, which I'm sure like bring like a good amount of income in as well.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot listed actually. We've got 3,485 and 969 sold. So that's something that we have been focusing on this year, is trying to get our sell through up, because traditionally we've been like buying bulk, and we're getting the good and the bad when you buy in bulk. So we're focusing on relisting a lot of stuff, because I would like that sell through to be a lot higher. So
but also you have a lot of like compared to me, like higher priced items. So you're getting a lot more like $100 sales than say I am, compared to the 20 sort of dollar ones that I sometimes have as well.
Yeah,
I think I said I had 17,000 listings too. I don't have 17,000 listings. 1,700.
That would be a shit sell through rate, dude.
That'd be a shocking sell through rate. 1,700 listings and 790, whatever the fuck it was.
Keys also traditional stream revenue, not relying on one. I think that's an important thing as well. Is, you know, Brad, you've got other things that you're working on, and you're always selling on Facebook, and you've got, you know, that little bit of YouTube which might come in here and there. It's only going to grow for you as you get bigger and bigger, because, you know, your channel is getting really great traction at the moment, and, you know, more and more people are finding it, which is awesome. So I think finding a way to build that extra income, and like House of Cards for us is going to be a little bit of an extra thing on top. Yeah. Preparing yourself.
Reselling doesn't have a mold. Like, you don't just have to be a reseller. Like, you can do whatever you want. Like, if I wanted to, I'm lucky enough to be able to ring my old boss and be like, I need some work, and she will literally give it to me. And I knew that when I went full time. Like, there's no like, you should be doing this like at a certain time and a certain day and blah blah blah, and you should be on this much, and you should not be working for someone else. Like, you can do whatever you want. So if you want like 10 different streams of income, go for it.
Do it.
You can balance those 10 streams. That's quality.
10 streams is a lot though.
And even if it's only a little bit, like I've said before, I've got other little things, you know, with the wildlife stuff, and, you know, all those bits and pieces, and they do build up, don't they? And it's whether you've got hobbies like that, if you can monetize your hobby, fucking do it. It's you're doing something you love and you get paid for it.
Yeah. Tillian Boa saying, I love being on a 12-hour night shift, and on occasion you're being quiet. I'll list all night and go home with a killing from work and listing up. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's fun.
Love it. Focus isn't about what you make, freedom in what you do. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Vicky's saying she's single and now a full-time reseller. No one is paying my bills or supporting me in any way. And there are, you know, there's heaps of people in that same sort of situation.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That, you know, Vicky, you know, she knows what she needs to make each week to make ends meet. So how do you get
I follow Vicky on Instagram. And yeah, she kills it. She does a lot of like women's clothes and stuff as well. And I'm kind of jealous sometimes of her finds. So
such a good question. Yeah. Do you guys have more stores for a reason, or do you keep them? Do you guys have more stores for a reason, or to keep them as basic store levels? So do
you guys have them for a reason, and then do you have them at basic store levels, maybe?
Yeah, I think she's saying, do you have multiple so that you can keep them at a basic store level, or do you have multiple for other reasons? So, Brad, I know that you've kind of got different stores because of different reasons, but do you want to break that down a little bit?
Yeah, so my public store is the store that I talk about on all my social media and stuff. Yep. That just gets smashed with a bit of everything. That's a mixed store. I put all sorts of things through it. The reason I have other stores is because the stuff that I have to hide from you. People follow me on YouTube now. They follow through to my eBay store. Now, I know it does affect your store with people, because people like to come through and just have a look, which is fine. I'm happy for you too. But that does actually affect our stores. People coming in, they have a look, they piss off and don't buy anything. eBay think there's something wrong with you. So, and I'm very small scale, mind you, I'm aware of that. But it still sort of happens. I had a look a while ago and I had a few hundred people just following my store, and I went through it. And I knew all your faces. You're all in there following me. So
I follow your store.
that's one reason, and I'm happy for people to look at it. But there's also a lot of other unique shit that I sell that I've got to keep to me, because I'm a full-time reseller, and you know, I share one thing, whether it's retail arbitrage, and other people see it, because people have told me they started selling stuff because they seen it on my store, not from my videos, and it was stuff that I bought in Big W, just shit like that. So that way I can hide it a bit. So I've got one store that kind of has the retail arbitrage stuff, and it also has a lot of the sporting memorabilia and unique stuff that I'm sort of niched in on. Yeah. And the third one doesn't have much on it. I barely touch it, but that's a lot of stuff that I've been importing off Alibaba and stuff like that I'm getting from other places where I just keep it 100% private. I don't tell anyone, not even the missus. She doesn't know where it is. So if I die, good luck.
What about you, Cara? Do you have a couple, or you just got the main?
So I actually did create one a couple of years ago, just in case. Like, I don't know if it would work anyway, if like somehow eBay shut me down and then I were able to use this other. It's not established really. Like, I've got a couple feedback, not even from purchase, like me purchasing something, rather than like sales. And there was a few things that I had put up there semi-recently, and it was sort of like a thing that I was trying to niche into. But because the stuff was like more high-end, I didn't have any feedback. I probably need to just list some more like used stuff on there rather than like the high-end stuff, and then get some like feedback so people are happy to buy from it, because obviously I've got no feedback, and if they're paying like $150, $300 for an item, they don't want to buy from a store at the moment that doesn't have much feedback. So I'm going to try to build that one. So it's in the works.
Yes, and we've got two purely for the fact of if something happens on the main, and I know that they can link them and stuff like that. But, you know, if something does happen on the main store, you know, we've got that backup. And obviously, you know, putting out YouTube videos, unfortunately, you do get people that want to troll you here and there and, you know, do dodgy things. So you just got to prepare yourself if something happens. So I think last time we looked, we had like 800 people following our store. So,
I think I've got the same.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So yeah, just for protection. And if we want to try new things, we put them on the second account, just to try and, you know, get a market look at an account that doesn't get like YouTube views, I guess you can call them, and just gets more natural traffic. So yeah, it's a good place.
And I think that we all agree though that we don't like mind that people are doing that. We put ourselves out there, and like we expect it. And like I share my store, so I have no issue with people doing that if they want to look, or I've had people buy off me like from Instagram as well. So
we all put ourselves out there, so you got to expect people are going to look at it, and obviously we don't mind that at all. It's just you got to protect yourself as well. So both saying reselling is good because you can get into it on any level with little to no capital and build on that. People make the assumption that it's easy, and it's far from it. It's not an easy job. You're not going to rock up and all of a sudden be making 20 sales a day. It takes time to build that store, and you know you're going to invest a lot of time into it. But once you get to that point, and I feel like, you know, Jazz has been doing full time for a year now, and we've been able to pay her every week without fail, and super. So I feel like you can get into that rhythm of being successful on eBay, or having enough to keep you going, which is probably the main thing. So we've been talking for 42 minutes and we haven't even got to sale of the week yet. So I'm going to get straight into that. Obviously, the chat, let us know what your sale of the week was. Kara's lost half her head there, but that's all right. Nostrils only. So I'm going to see if I can do this without destroying everything, which never goes real well. I'll probably start with Kara because she's hit us up with a few this week, which is awesome. She wanted to, you know, get the airtime while she's here.
There's a few things that, like the items I chose, like in particular, and then like not like the best ones. I have one that's like my best one.
I don't know why that's on too, but
this one. So this one, and I don't know if it's the next one that you're going to show. This sold in less than 24 hours. So I just sort of wanted to show you guys that. Sierra is very. There's a lot of them on eBay, so you really have to watch out what you buy. So particular styles do well, and I just want to show you this one because it did sell really quickly. I think because they were very clean, they were a good style, and they were quite like a larger shoe. So they were a size 43, which I think is a 12.
Wow.
In women's.
Do you know what you paid for those ones?
Yeah, I paid 12. So, I mean, I paid up for them, but that's the flip that I like. I paid my $12. I took the offer of 55 and I sold it within 24 hours, which I was really happy with.
And then we got a bit of your specialty here.
Yeah, a little vintage.
Yeah.
So this as well, it surprised me. I knew these are popular. Those enamel, like metal, vintage, retro things. You got to be really careful with these because there's a lot of reproductions around, but you can tell the age, like of something. Like if something's really bashed up and like it's actually got those rust marks and things like that, you can sort of tell the fakes. So this one was a real retro vintage one, probably from around like the 1950s. And I paid $2 for this one. It sold in less than 24 hours for $65, my full asking price plus post. Wow. So yeah, be on the lookout for those ones. I was really happy with that. I think that just this thing is just super popular with people like in their kitchens, and people just want to use like that retro gear like in everyday life.
That aesthetic is pretty awesome.
Yeah, super
like
country and stuff.
I like the title there. So.
Yeah, so Kitchenalia may have even sold it. That is just a word for like vintage collectible kitchen items. So if you ever, I actually had, it's probably a good example as well, this little set of biscuit like maker things, and that sold very, very quickly. And I put Kitchenalia in the title, and I actually, there was another one listed, but I listed mine higher and it sold before theirs.
Just shows like quality listings 9 times out of 10 will get sales, right? Like,
yeah, I think so.
Into like, you've obviously stylized that with the background and trying to make it like it would be on the shelf, right? Like that's going to go into a home and that's how it's going to look. So that's pretty awesome. And last off, this one coming in with a big bang. I've seen a couple people pick this up in the US, but I personally haven't seen it, and obviously I don't go to that section very often. But man, tell us about Johnny Wax.
Yeah, this one. So this was a good one as well, for the fact that I had it priced higher than this. I think I priced it at like 175 initially, maybe even more, because for me, I do more of the top comps rather than like undercutting people, or because I'm happy to let these sort of ride out, and I feel like my listings, like my photos are good, and so yeah, I think I'm going to get a little bit more money for my stuff, and I generally do. So this one was listed 175. It probably was a little bit too much. So I did my end and relist very recently, and it sold super quickly after that for full listing price of 150. Johnny Was is very hard to find in Australia. I think this may be my first piece even, but it was a banger. It was silk. It was really pretty. It was like one of their top end pieces. So it sold for $150.
That's awesome. That's a quality sale.
I love your photos too. I love how it's on the mannequin, and you got that side table next to it. Pretty it all up.
Yeah, I've actually stopped doing that recently. My new photos aren't like that, and I don't know if I should go back to that aesthetic. I had a feeling that maybe my side table was doing something to the algorithm, because you know how Google loves like the white background. Yeah. But then was I getting into my own head a little bit, because those items that still have that aesthetic sell. So yeah, I don't know. I really like it like that, but then also I'm like, oh, Google wants white, and anything else.
I think it's kind of like you're losing one thing, but you're gaining something else. So you're losing the Google rank, but you're gaining a difference on eBay that maybe someone else doesn't have. So
yeah, I think so. Like people just browsing generally on eBay may be more likely to click because it looks kind of cute and
catches the eye.
We do pretty much all white background just because we want our stuff to rank, and we don't have anything crazy like that needs styling. So I think it just depends what you're selling. And yeah, we preach white backgrounds because that ranks us in Google and that works for us. But each their own. So Flipper's gone with the old grass background here.
Look, he sold this and it's not white.
Yeah, so I'm not doing as much of the grass background anymore. But the footy jumpers I still am for the memorabilia side of things, which this is classed under memorabilia. But when I sell, because I sell a lot of brand newer tags, footy jumpers, I have suppliers. So it's more so wholesale, I guess. I buy a shitload of them and then sell them, and then I will use the white background because they are, brand new. Whereas in this situation, this one is hand signed by Anthony McDonald Tippamoody. I'm sure you all know the song, little live wire Indigenous player from the Bombers. And he is an absolute cult figure. So that's why I picked this up. I bought this on eBay. I got it in an auction. I've had it for a little while. I snagged it in an auction for about $80, I think. Oh. And, slapped her up for this. As I said, it did sit there, but I knew this was going to sell. I had some offers of around the 150 to 200, and I didn't take them purely because, one, these Indigenous jumpers, and I've mentioned this before, AFL Indigenous jumpers, they go up about $20 every year. They get rarer and rarer. You cannot buy too many of them online or in store anymore. They eventually go out of circulation, which makes them rarer and rarer by the year. So they eventually get hard to get, and they go up. Just to basically buy a new one of these with unsigned can be $150 sometimes. I've sold them for that, certain ones. I can't remember the exact year of this one, to be honest now, but basically all this was, he signed it, there's a certificate with it, and we've chucked it up, and we've got the biggie. So it's not a player jumper, it's not a player worn, it's literally it's a retail jumper, hand signed by this bloke, and it's sold. But if you're not, I wouldn't recommend just jumping on eBay now and going to buy a footy jumper that's signed by a player. Be aware, this guy is a cult hero at his club. They all love him. He's an Indigenous player, and this is an Indigenous jumper that they only wear once that year for the Indigenous round, and cult players just go really well. So also depends on the team. So some teams sell better than others. If this was a Gold Coast player, a Gold Coast jumper, Indigenous jumper, it wouldn't sell as well. Simple as that. But the Bombers, they love this guy.
Freo.
Yeah, that's a Freo. They're no good. I'm not encouraging anyone to jump straight on eBay and go out and buy a fucking footy jumper. Don't blame me if you do it and you don't make money on it, because if you follow the game, look into it, because there is a lot of money to be made out of that. But they went straight off eBay, back on eBay, and bang, gone.
Boom. Gotta be happy with that. I've just got a cool little thing to share. So we picked this up a couple of weeks back, like $15, I think it was, at Savers, and sold today for $100. So coming into winter, people are looking for those thicker wetsuits. So include the thickness. This one was 3 to 2, so a little bit thicker, which is good. $100 and gone. So very happy with that.
Nice. And the photo as well, Jan did a good job, because it was quite long. And your thing is like, did she hang it
up the top and then and remove the background? So she did well with that one. Happy with that sale. I'll pick up some from the chat as well, because I did see a bunch fly through. I think this is where they started. Oz Riley saying, I sold a nice piece of hi-fi equipment, DBX 119 compressor for $350, picked up for $50.
Oh, bang.
Sold some toy figures 1987 for $70, 1986 for $70, cost me $9. Had a bit of dyslexia there. Sold a box set of Walton's TV series for $150. I haven't heard of that. Walton's TV series. Cost nothing, was in the mother-in-law's collection.
Go back.
10 days ago, I sold a 3-book Harry Potter set for $125. 3-book for $120. Wow. You must have been like maybe first editions or something.
Like the new ones, because a 3-book set. Yeah.
For us, it was a 1983 Foot Rot Flats T-shirt, 2 into 1.
Whoa.
Picked up a Telstra TV new in box for $1. Sold 2 days after listing for $94.95. I did see a crazy one in here from Nate. I found an IFAS electrotherapy 19-piece set missing 1 piece, paid $80, sold for $1,500 plus postage. What is an electro?
12 hours. He sold it in 12 fucking hours.
That's crazy.
That is insane, Daniel.
Congratulations, Daniel.
So good.
Reselling can be fluent. It might suit to be full-time and part-time at times. I've lost my full-time job. My father passed away, and my husband, wow, that's...
I'm sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear that, Sandra. It's great to hear that, you've got reselling and it's going to give you some income in the meantime. I hope it all works out for you. That's 3 big hits very much after each other, but I hope you get through that. It's tough. I think we picked up all the sales. I'm just blown away by Daniel's one there.
What the hell? $1,500.
Yeah, he's going to have to explain.
And very quickly.
That's crazy. That's a dream right there.
That is, if we could do that every day, we'd be fucking rich.
There's a bit of a segue now. Obviously, that's not dog shit, but we do need to get into dog shit.
Hey!
And I did use the third one because I just wanted to go over Kara's head. So we've only got 5 minutes. This has been flying by. Obviously, new guest on, and we enjoy talking to Kara, so time's flown. Dog shit. Flipper, you got any dog shit of the week?
Dog shit free?
Dog shit free.
Dog shit free. Well, dog shit free in reselling anyway. The dog shit that I had last week, cleared it up the next day. So fuck you, Hollywood. You told me I wouldn't get that fucking closed. eBay excited. So eBay closed it. I explained the situation. They were aware that this person was trying to scam me. I won't even call them a person, a piece of shit. They were actually aware of it. They have closed it, and they said they'll reassess once tracking states they have got the item. So I tried to intercept the item, and it already left. I couldn't get onto it. So that was the recommendation they gave to me. I got back onto them. It was like maybe half hour later, and they closed the case. So, Mr. Hollywood, you didn't get your cup, you didn't get your case closed, but I did. So fuck it.
He'll message us in about 2 hours after he's watched it back, and he'll be like, I can see it now. It'll be a 4-letter word that starts with F. You flipper. That's what it will be. All it will be. Cara, first off, so do you have anything?
I have no poop on the shoe. There's no poop. I think there's like general shit where like I'm not finding enough stuff, and I'm like cutting down like my listings even now. Like I usually try to list 20 listings a day, but I'm like kind of going down to 15 so I can like space them out rather than, putting them all on at once and things like that. But in general, like no returns or asshole buyers and like, things like that. So.
Do you want to, since it's your first time and you come in and disappointed us with no dog shit, what's your biggest dog shit? What's the worst dog shit you've ever copped?
I heard she had to go thrifting with two Aussie Thrifters yesterday, so that must be
dog shit. Oh man, that's put me on the spot. I probably haven't had like really, really terrible incidences like, where people are trying to actually actively scam me. But I generally just have like weird people message me, like, the foot fetishists, and not that it, I'm not saying that's weird, like do your own thing, but like don't get people involved and like,
that's fucking weird. I'll say it. It's
kind of weird. Yeah. I mean, like other things as well, like wear these leggings and don't change your undies and
I send them to Brad all the time, but in our normal messages, not on eBay.
Brad's texting you, don't change your undies today.
No dog shit for us, which is good. Sandra's saying her dog shit wins them all, and I agree definitely. But hopefully everything works itself out, Sandra, and everything works out for you. Captain's saying his dog shit is more like dog piss, literally. That's what a refunder sent me. A shirt soaked in animal piss, hair stinky AF. They refunded by over $200.
No, that is fucked, dude.
That's crazy.
He bailed on one. He's keeping his money. He's keeping his money. That's a bonus. He said down there below.
I missed. Megan, good to see you, Megan. Thanks for coming in. And I saw Shazad come in as well.
Apparently, Shazad, what's up?
Shazad, thanks for being here. He's keeping his money. That's awesome. So we're almost at the hour mark, guys. So let's do a quick run around. What's coming up on the channel, Flipper? Oh, Cara might have to push her into doing one. But what's coming up on your channel?
I don't know, man. I'm just winging it at the minute, as I said. We've had illness. We've had all sorts of stuff going on here. So I'll just put out a video when I can be bothered. So drop one today. That might do me for 7 days, and we'll see what we can do next week.
Yeah. I always look forward to your videos. They're always so fun. So we appreciate everyone that you do.
Yeah, they are definitely bright.
I might do a quick one. I've filmed one about sort of mindset stuff. So, if it was like 3 or 4 different topics, and me, I'm going to take the piss out of it. I'm going to troll it a bit, but I did film and I've just got to edit it, so I might even smash that out. It'll be a bit of a quicker video sort of thing, so I might get that up before the end of the week, and then we'll see how we go. But it depends what goes on this week. I might even go thrifting this week.
I heard that you did a 10K run for February, so I heard you're going to do a 20K for there won't be another run, but look, I am open to doing I had a lot of people message me over that 10K one, and they said they enjoyed it because it's different.
all that sort of stuff. So I am open to different challenges for some what sold videos. So if you've got any ideas, guys, send them along. And
maybe nothing is like strenuous as that.
If they can be to promote someone's channel, I'm more than happy to promote anyone that does this YouTube stuff, Instagram, whatever. If it's for charity, I'm more than happy to do it for charity. If you want me to do it for whatever you're trying to raise funds for, let me know and we can work something out. Because it was a tough gig doing that fucking run, but I think it was kind of a natural video too. I just kind of filmed as I was going, so. Yeah. And people seem to enjoy it. So I'm open to doing more of that. Probably not a run again, but maybe something different.
I reckon like a 3K unicycle ride would be pretty fun.
You could just try like new things as like, I don't know, during the, I thought it was really funny today when you were shooting Kate and Eli. Just like randomly through the video. It was like,
Kate was just like, what are you doing? And then Eli was like,
what the hell?
I cut the bit out, but she goes, I don't want to be in your stupid video. I cut that bit out, but yeah, she wasn't too keen. I don't think she's watched it yet, so she doesn't know she's in it.
Okay.
Just touch on this before we get to Cara. Auction for my Dr. Seuss books finished at 4:45, but eBay stopped the transaction.
Yeah.
Wow, because the books were banned. That sucks. Cara, obviously you do a lot on Instagram, so if people haven't followed you on Instagram, it's definitely good to head over there. You do have a YouTube channel
every day. I'll get something up. Suggestions are welcome. Because otherwise, I just feel like I like to just do thrifting videos. Really, it's just easier for me, I guess. I can film a bit more content. Like, do people really want to hear me rambling on and like doing educational videos? Like, I feel like
I do.
I don't know. It's been done. Like, has it been done? I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Do it in your own form of education will be different to someone else's.
Yeah. And you know different stuff to other people as well. So,
that's right.
But my suggestion is, can we get you doing a 10K run? I'll gladly.
Oh my god! No way. I'll do a 10K slow walk.
Maybe we can all do it in a few weeks when I come to Adelaide.
Yeah,
I'm coming to Adelaide in a few weeks, so maybe we could all do it then. And we'll do it hungover.
Oh, fuck that.
Look, I'll take one for the team and I'll film it, okay? I mean, I'll get
I think that we could do like a little what sold 5K walk.
I think I'd hurt myself even doing that, to be honest. Just quickly for us, Tuesday we'll put out probably the big thrift that we did over the weekend. So I started editing that up today, finish it off tomorrow. And then Friday
you guys got some amazing things. Like, you guys should watch this video because did you end up doing like a little haul at the end, or?
Yeah, we kind of showed like some of the different stuff that we picked up because we got some really weird, well, not weird stuff, just different stuff for us.
Yeah.
So we'll put that up, and then Friday we'll do our March What Sold month figures, which will be fun. So we've smashed past the hour mark. I could sit here all night and talk to you guys, but appreciate everyone that's come along. Now, if you haven't subbed to Cara or Brad's channel, please head over. Check out Cara on Instagram, ThriftyPixie1. Yep. And make sure you head over there and give her a follow. Otherwise, we're not sure what's going to happen next week because of Easter. So we'll let everyone know what's going to happen there. But we should be back, if not next week, definitely the week after. Same place, same time, same banter. Thank you, Cara, for filling in for Robbie.
That's okay. Thanks for having me.
We'll have to charge Robbie for the time and send him your invoice.
It's like $250 an hour. So.
Oh, wow. Well, we better close it out because we're running overtime. Thanks, everyone. Really appreciate it. Have a great night, and we will see you next week maybe next week on Wide World of Reselling.